Yeah, so tell me, son, what are you doing at that newfangled college of yours?
We've been talking a lot about President Roosevelt's New Deal in Mrs. Danvers' economics class.
So tell me, son, what are you doing at that newfangled college of yours?
We've been talking a lot about President Roosevelt's New Deal in Mrs. Danvers' economics class.
So tell me, what are you doing at that newfangled college of yours, son?
We've been talking a lot about President Roosevelt's New Deal in Mrs. Danvers' economics class.
Ah, that's a shame, son. You know, that Frank Roosevelt, he's got this all wrong. You know, that fellow over there in Germany, that Hitler fellow, he's aces in my book.
Mrs. Danvers says Hitler is a dictator and he surrounds himself with a bunch of goons.
Thing is, we got it all wrong in this country, and that Frank Roosevelt, he knows it, and I'll tell you. You know who's got it right? That Hitler fellow over there in Germany. He's aces in my book, I'll tell you.
Mrs. Danvers says that Hitler is a dictator and he surrounds himself with a bunch of goons.
That Hitler fellow over there in Germany, he's got it all together. He's aces in my book.
End of part 1. Intermission. End of intermission. Part 2.
Mrs. Danvers says we shouldn't trust Hitler.
Oh, Mickey, you gotta understand. Mrs. Danvers, she may have a great set of gams and gazungas that a man could get lost in. But she's got it all wrong. You know, Americans are still standing in soup lines and these Nazis are building highways. You know, we can learn some lessons from these krauts. I bet you all the opium in this pipe I'm right.
Mrs. Danvers says we shouldn't trust Hitler.
You know, we can learn some lessons from these krauts. I bet you all the opium in this pipe I'm right.
But Mrs. Danvers says we shouldn't trust Hitler.
Yeah, we can learn some lessons from these krauts. Bet you all the opium in this pipe I'm right.
But Mrs. Danvers says we shouldn't trust Hitler.
Oh, Mickey, we gotta get those Bolshevik ideas out of your noodle. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go over to this Third Reich of theirs and see what's what. Say, Mrs. Danvers, she ever mention me? Ever?
Dad, watch out! Great, Dad. That's just great.
End of part 2. Another fucking intermission.
Space Force. Space Force.
Yeah, that's good, Jimmy. You don't need to ever play that ever again.
End of intermission. Part 3.
Minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10.
My name is Ash. I work at Mission Control. I help send Apollo astronauts to the moon.
2, 1, 0.
I control whether they live or die. I control them. They don't control me. Maybe the Apollo flight crew will get the wrong information the next time they ask for it. They think they're on the way to the moon. Maybe I'll just send them into deep space. Oh yeah, there's a reckoning coming. I'll show them. I'll show all of them in this room what Ash Reemer is capable of.
15 minutes earlier.
In my life skills therapy, you'll learn how to make athletic wear that we then turn around and sell to China. We have quotas to make, and if you can't do your part, you'll spend the night in the box. My survival therapy sends you to an Eastern European country I can't name, where my associates Boris and Ivan will hunt you for sport. You'll need to be on your toes, especially with Boris. And then there's my exclusive seduction therapy. But look out, because there's a 5-year waiting list for that one. And it all comes together at our beautiful location by Anthrax Beach.
This is called a transition.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I'm Lars Gunblade of the No Talent Ass Clowns, and I'm telling you, go down to Skip Bitchley's Used Cars. This month, get this great Mercedes-Benz for $99 down or $99 a month. Now that's a great deal, man. Oh, I'm not supposed to do that. You go to Skip Bitchley's, he'll give you a deal. You know, even if you tell him I sent you, he might still give you a deal. So, check it out.
Just make something up. I'm off. I've got better things to do than this voiceover. I've got a script floating around Hollywood and some A-list stars are definitely interested. Piss off.
It is the year 2112. A new world government has taken over. In this dark future, new heroes have emerged. These men are known as the Danger Pilots. They are broken men, compensating for poor social skills and undersized penises. One man has become the greatest danger pilot of all. Even other danger pilots tremble at the mention of his name.
Reemer, danger pilot. Ash Reemer, danger pilot. Ash Reemer, danger pilot.
Defying authority.
Reemer, you shall return to base immediately. No can do, Commander. I'm in charge, and no one can stop me.
Sex.
Gangbang? Yeah, I'm horny. Yeah, okay.
Explosions.
Ash Reemer, danger pilot.
You want another transition? You can fuck right off.
Here in this part of Polk County, life is simple. Our pastimes are simple. Hell, even our people are simple. Very simple. We like it that way. And we definitely never talk about our zombie. Ever. I mean, ever.
I think this has gone on long enough. Here's one final video for your consideration. Just remember that the best has definitely not been saved for last.
Thursday, December 9th, third day of bombardment. We had the seculars pinned down and we had them right where we wanted them. And we hit them with everything we had. Chorus after chorus of Jingle Bell Rock and Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And they were scared. But then they'd strike back and over the parapet we could hear Happy Holidays over and over again. And some of my men became scared and some committed suicide. But I held out because I had to. Because there had to be a Merry Christmas again. Sergeant Robert Shepard's 45th Carolers.
The battle never ends. Remember, one misplaced Happy Holidays can bring defeat. Let's win the war on Christmas.
Paid for by the people who look at the speck of sawdust in their brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in their own eye.
I would like to leave you with this thought. You will never get back the 8 minutes you've spent watching this. I derive a certain artistic satisfaction from knowing that. Smell you later.
Apollo 11, Houston.
Go ahead, Houston.
Apollo 11, you are go for TLI, over.
Roger, understand. We're go for TLI.
Apollo 11, coming up on 20 seconds to ignition. Try not to fuck this up, you guys.
Roger. Ignition.
Roger, ignition. Apollo 11, Houston. You're looking pretty fucking good.
Roger. Okay, we got sync going right on the money.